Thanks for joining us on KARE 11 News Now. I'm Chris Aramsky. Let's get right to your headline. Breaking news right now. One person is dead and another is in custody after an on-campus shooter was reported at Florida State University in Tallahassee this morning. Tennessee Memorial Hospital confirmed to NBC News that at least 6 people from the incident are being treated at the hospital. FSU sent out an emergency alert about 11:30 this morning, acknowledging an active shooter near the student union on campus, telling the campus to shelter in place. NBC reporting one person again has died, and Tallahassee police confirm one suspect is in custody. Florida State University has canceled all classes and activities for the rest of the week. And keep your eyes locked on KARE 11 for the rest of the night, too. It's a KARE 11 Weather Impact Alert Day. Our weather team says we've got a chance of severe weather until midnight tonight. That severe weather could include heavy rain, hail, and whipping winds. Those storms are moving in right now as we speak. We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up in just a little bit. Developing right now, a Sauk Rapids police officer charged in a sex crime after accusations he sexually assaulted a child over a decade ago. Officer Andrew Jensen was charged in Morrison County last month. According to court documents, a woman reported she was assaulted by Jensen when she was about 6 or 7 years old. At that time, Jensen would have been 16 or 17. In a criminal complaint, Jensen admitted to family that the abuse happened and said it happened multiple times. Jensen is currently on leave from the Sauk Rapids Police Department. His next court appearance is set for May 19th. New today, President Trump slamming Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, saying, quote, his termination cannot come fast enough, end quote, reiterating his frustration that the central bank has not cut interest rates as fast as he would like. At a conference in Chicago, Powell said the tariffs that the president has imposed could have a bad impact on inflation progress that the U.S. has made in the past year. The trade war between the U.S. and China is impacting businesses, large and small, on both sides of the Pacific. NBC's Janice Mackey-Frayer is at a Chinese factory that sells many of its products to customers in the United States.
China has long been considered the world's factory, producing the multitude of goods that people use or wear every day. But with tariffs on Chinese goods now at 145% and global markets sliding, the trade war is impacting production lines here that are now sending less to the U.S. We're inside a factory that makes high-end hair accessories, and more than half their business is done with the U.S. And when tariffs started to rise, the factory owner told us big clients like Target halted their orders. And we're seeing that impact in full view at the big wholesale market here in Yiwu. That's where Chinese factories send their goods for export. Everything from toys to toothbrushes to Christmas decorations. And every vendor we talked to told us the same thing, that business with the U.S. they had before is either down or gone altogether. It doesn't mean there aren't U.S. clients here. We met sisters from the Chicago area who sell hair clips to retailers, mostly in the Midwest and in Florida. They say they're cautious, but they have to keep business going. If they don't buy here, their stores don't have products to sell, and they're hoping the trade war blows over. Several countries are negotiating with the Trump administration to have tariffs reduced, but China is not one of them. So when goods like this get exported to the U.S., the people who want them are going to pay more. Janice Mackey-Frayer, NBC News, Yiwu, China.
Developing right now, it could soon cost more to go to local colleges. The Minnesota State System, which represents 33 schools, is looking to raise tuition by between 3.5 and 9%. The reason, it's unlikely lawmakers will provide any new funding in the budget, and enrollment is not growing. The board will act on tuition rates at its June meeting. Additionally, the U of M is expected to raise tuition by 4.5% for in-state tuitions and 5.5% for out-of-state students on the Twin Cities campus next year. Recent government data shows a strong job market for nurses, but a shortage of qualified RNs is imminent. In 2025 alone, there is a projected shortage of more than 78,000 full-time nurses across the country. There are a lot of factors that are causing the drop in staff: a rapidly aging population, increased demand for healthcare services, and widespread burnout likely caused by the pandemic. Children's Minnesota has found a way to successfully manage the nursing shortage and save money in the process. Gordon Severson explains how they're doing it.
Hi, Charlie.
Working in the NICU at Children's Minnesota, Michael Burns sees a lot of really young patients.
How you doing, kiddo?
He remembers the feeling of being young and overwhelmed with the world.
Yeah.
He started his nursing career at the height of the pandemic.
It was a heck of an introduction to the nursing profession as a whole.
A challenging time where Burns saw several new and veteran nurses give up and leave the profession.
The COVID pandemic really shined a spotlight on how challenging this job is.
5 years later, he's now part of a task force created to boost retention and recruitment of nurses, and the changes they've made so far appear to be working.
Burnout is a big topic.
Nursing supervisor Nina Noe says they're focusing a lot of attention on mental health and peer support.
And I think that's been really beneficial, and we're continuing to grow that and get the word out to our nurses.
They're also giving new nurses more support during the first 2 years on the job.
If we don't pause and really be intentional in that first year, that nurse will be burnt out before they even finish orientation. It can be overwhelming.
Chief Nursing Officer Caroline Zhao says they're also retaining more of their veteran nurses. And because of these efforts, they're relying less on more expensive temporary travel nurses. In 2023, she says Children's Minnesota spent around $40 million on temporary nurses. In 2024, they spent $17 million. And this year, they're on track to cut that price in half again.
The model of temporary nursing resources is just not sustainable.
By focusing more attention on training their own nurses, Zhao is hoping to save money and give patients a more personalized experience. So nurses like Burns will continue to grow and stay in the profession for many years to come.
I love this profession dearly, even when it's challenging and even when it's hard, and I want nothing more than to continue to make that profession something that I can do for the next 50 years.
Gordon Severson reporting there. Children's says they're also building stronger partnerships with local universities so nursing students have a seamless transition into the workplace. And for veteran nurses, they're offering more training and career advancement opportunities so they can learn new skills and be more fulfilled with their work. Minnesota Wild fans, look at your screen right now. The team just releasing their playoff schedule. The first game against the Golden Knights will take place on Sunday night at 9 in Las Vegas. Game 2 will be on Tuesday at 10 p.m., also in Las Vegas. The best of 7 series comes to Minnesota next Thursday and Saturday. Go Wild. Well, in less than a month, you'll need one of these to board a domestic flight. A real ID with a yellow star in the right corner, that is unless, of course, you're traveling with a passport. But with the deadline fast approaching, some Minnesotans are encountering a few headaches at the DMV. Carla Holt spoke to one woman who made multiple trips and has some tips to make sure you're not hit with the same slowdown.
As a mother of 2 under the age of 4.
He's 5 months.
Oh my goodness. Molly Koch knows how to plan for the unexpected.
20 different sheets of paper.
Which is why when driving to the DMV to apply for her real ID,
I brought my marriage license just in case.
She brought a file of all the documents she needed. Almost.
And so I came here thinking I had already looked up online that I was all good with all my documents. Sure enough, I was not. I had printed out a bank statement and a separate bank's credit card statement.
And Molly's double run to the DMV may feel familiar.
Right now, our turnaround time is 47 days.
As the state's Driver Services Program Director, Jody K. Peterson recommends people pre-apply and pre-verify online to get that real ID in time.
And then once we verify, they're going to say, yep, the documents you have are great. These are good supporting documents.
And to be clear, the documents the state wants to see, one document showing identity, date of birth, and legal status. So think passport, birth certificate, or permanent resident card. You'll need to know your Social Security number and also have 2 documents proving your Minnesota residency.
A utility bill or a bank statement.
But we did ask about those curveball cases involving, for example, adult children or those who've lost their spouses.
So that comes down to name change, and we do see that is a common one for documents. So we want the documents that you're providing to have the same first and last name.
There was also a mortgage a mortgage form.
Her name and documents all in line. Molly thought she was good.
But it was expiring at the end of the year in September, and I need the Real ID anyway.
But even a working mom making it all happen
So I think I have all my stuff now.
can find herself dealing with the curveballs of life.
I already have a Real ID? She said, you've already gone through this process already. I'm on top of things, and I still got it wrong.
Carla Halt reporting there. Hey, happening right now, something strange is going on all across Seattle. Take a listen.
Hi, I'm Jeff Bezos. This crosswalk is sponsored by Amazon Prime with an important message. Please don't tax the rich. Otherwise, all the other billionaires will move to Florida too. Wouldn't it be terrible if all the rich people left Seattle or got Luigi'd and then normal people could afford to live here again? Jeffrey Bezos.
Okay, someone hacked several crosswalk buttons across the city so that they play an AI created, it's a fake message from Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Transportation officials in Seattle say it's dangerous for visually impaired people that use the clicks and countdown timers in the crosswalks to safely cross the street. That's why we have those things. We saw something similar with Elon Musk in Palo Alto, I believe, was the town that you were hearing the same AI-created messages. So why now? Well, Washington lawmakers out in the state of Washington just introduced a new bill that would raise taxes on some of the state's wealthiest people. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.